Welcome back. I now want to talk about a story that we haven't given much time to, but it needs our dire attention. It's the Uttarakhand forest fires that actually have gone on for weeks now in various parts, destroying hectares and hectares, hundreds of hectares of forest land. And the rescue and the fire dousing operations continue even now as we speak, while there has been some relief coming in due to mild rainfall. The Indian Air Force is still continuing to battle this along with the forest officials. For 3 days now, the Air Force choppers have been deployed to sprinkle water on top. 45 incidents of fire have been reported in just the last 24 hours and have reportedly gutted 40 hectares of the area in just 24 hours. The situation is grim in the Kumaon region, where firefighting operations were halted because of low visibility because there was so much of fire. In Garhwal, there was fire reported at 6 different places which was finally doused, though the situation has improved in the state owing to some rainfall. But I want to give you an overarching picture of what's been going on and what has been the impact of it. Shivani Azad, journalist with Times of India, joins me this evening, and Mr. Rajiv Bhartari, head of the Forest Force of Uttarakhand, also with us this evening. Shivani, let me just come to you for the latest that we know. The fires, of course, have gone on for now days together. What is the current situation?
Well, the latest bulletin which has been given by the Forest Department says that we had 75 active fires in the past 24 hours, wherein around 93 hectares of forest has been gutted. So what's worrying, according to the data, is the first week of April itself, because the April data reads out that in the first week we have already lost around 814 hectares of forest area to about 557 forest fire incidents. So the only respite we got is this morning with some rains and snowfall in the higher reaches. And the visibility was so poor that the choppers had to, although the forest officials are stating that it's because the fire incidences were reduced since last evening, therefore they had to, go back. So that's the situation right now.
Okay. Mr. Bhartari, good evening. Thank you for joining us. And I want to start off actually from the beginning with you of when these fires actually started off and what's causing these fires.
See, the fires have been continuing right from October, but they reached largest numbers in March. And but let me also add that traditionally, every year in March end and April beginning, in the sal forest, the sal trees shed their leaves and pine trees shed their leaves. And so this period witnesses thick mats of dry fallen leaves on the forest floor. What is peculiar this time is that last year there was lockdown and there was plentiful rainfall. And as a result, there were hardly any forest fires. So the fuel load was far, far more than would normally happen. And the second thing is the totally dry conditions and high temperature. I think the temperatures have been on days together 4-5 degrees normal than above. And all these things have created the situation for high number of fire.
Okay, but I'm given to understand that even between October, like you said, when they first started, between October and January as well, there was about 236 fire incidents that have happened. Now, would you say that that was normal, or is there a climate change or something else that is leading to, fires starting even in that period?
No, this was highly it was not normal and quite worrisome.
Okay, let me actually go back to Shivani at this point. Shivani, so of course now it's escalated. The heat is probably adding to the entire challenge and we don't know for how long this will continue. What have been the overarching preparations that the state has made in terms of the firefighting ops?
Well, this is for the first time that the former Chief Minister Trivendra Singh Rawat had announced that, from now onwards we'll be having integrated forest fire extinguishing system in place, wherein all the departments, including the corps, disaster management, everyone will work in tandem. So this is the kind of preparation that is anticipated from the not just forest department, but from the entire state. However, the situation currently, what we are able to see is that the forest department is actively pursuing the cases.
Yeah, in fact, even the forest minister, there was a video that emerged of the forest minister himself trying to douse the fire in one part. I mean, I'm not too sure how much that helped, but perhaps he was just sending a message of trying to lead from the front with that visual. But Mr. Rajiv Bhartari, what is the current scenario, and would the state want more help either from the Air Force or from the central authorities to get this under control?
See, first point, let me say is that there have been 3 meetings at the level of the Honorable Chief Minister himself. So the previous Chief Minister had taken a meeting of all district officials, police, DMs, forest officials in February, and our Honorable Chief Minister took a meeting on 15th March, and even on last Sunday, he took an emergency meeting. And as a result of these reviews, I think in my career, I have never seen such close coordination between police, district administration, and state disaster SDRF. The second thing is that Honorable Chief Minister had requested the central government to provide support for helicopters and for NDRF. And the 2 helicopters were provided to the state. And in addition, today, one team of NDRF has already been made available for Nainital, and 2 other teams are on their way or might have reached for Champawat and Udham Singh Nagar. Because from the data provided by Forest Survey of India yesterday in the morning, there were almost no negligible active fires in Garhwal region, and even in Kumaon region, all the active fires were confined to Nainital, Champawat, and Udham Singh Nagar districts.
Now, obviously, the big concern is, Mr. Bhartari, that the fires usually peak and are at the fiercest in May when the temperatures begin to soar. So we will have to anticipate that and prepare for, accordingly. What is the own internal estimate for of the forest department of what is it that we could be looking at?
See, because of climate change, we are witnessing weather extremes. And last year, it was shocking that there were such little fires. And so I think we have to be prepared and mobilize ourselves for unprecedented situations also.
Okay, one more question that I have for you before I go back to Shivani is that the Uttarakhand state itself got really, the forest department got some high-tech systems involved and brought in for fire tracking, including a satellite imagery system that helps you track it better. But do you believe a lot more needs to be done in updation of that system that will help you trace, track and react faster?
I think we are getting considerable support from Forest Survey of India through SMS alerts, and these alerts are for different levels, and they help us track fires. And like, for example, in the morning, I got an alert, a statewide alert, because I'm heading the state, and it showed only 10 active fires. So I think that is not the problem. We are getting that information. What is challenges is that, there is so much variability in the state and in the terrain. And there is so much, all the forests are interspread with such immense human activity. And when conditions are so dry, humidity is low, fuel load is high, temperatures are high, then even the slightest accidental fire or carelessness is enough to start big fires.
Shivani, we've also earlier read comments by the Chief Minister attributing some of these fires to, as deliberate attempts or mischievous attempts. Is that something that the state is still looking into seriously and have found any credible evidence?
Absolutely, it is right to attribute it to man-made fires for a simple reason. Like Forest Department itself, within 48 hours, they have already got two villagers for actually lighting fire. One in Kedarnath Wildlife Sanctuary and one today in Nainital. These people were actually involved in causing fires. That's one thing. And another thing, like you're saying, state is actually very, very consciously they are taking up this thing that anyone who's involved in causing fire will be prisoned, or whatever Indian says, will be actually charged accordingly.
Okay. Mr. Bhartari, would you like to add to this, the challenge that there may be some intentional elements there trying to worsen the situation?
What I would say, put on record, is that Forest Department made a request to the police, and the DG Police issued a recorded statement that lighting of fires is punishable under IPC. And I think that also contributed to the control of fire incidents.
Thank you so much to both of you for joining us. I think we have a large challenge ahead still. Shivani, of course, has been bringing us the updates, today through the day. Thank you for joining us now. And Mr. Bhartari, you, of course, have a very, very big challenge and a large task at hand. We hope you get all the support you need to, end this disaster that's continuing in a large part of the Uttarakhand state. Thank you both for joining us right now. And viewers, this is not just about one part or the other. And imagine fires that have constantly happened since the month of October. And if you actually look at the numbers from March and April, just in the month of April, there have been over 400 incidents of fires reported. Imagine the devastation, the destruction of precious green forests that's taking place in this state. It all boils down to how we take care of our nation, of our environment, and of Mother Earth. And if we don't, and if we take it lightly, then there is havoc and destruction. The state, of course, on priority is trying to prepare itself for the worst. There's been a bit of a relief that's come in the last couple of days because of rainfall, but that hasn't ended the problem. And this needs to be treated as a national emergency and nothing less. Thank you for joining us on this conversation.